Yo, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm feeling these intros. I hope you guys are feeling these intros too. I'm loving them. They've been supplied to me from Jamon Buxton. He's a former guest on the show. We've also collaborated on a few projects that we will be presenting to you in the future. I don't want to talk about them because I still want that shock factor to hit. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is going to be an interactive conversation, an interactive live. I only see a few comments. I don't get to see. I know we're live on 2 pages on Facebook right now. We're also live on YouTube. Not all the comments come through. I apologize for that, but the ones that do come through, I will acknowledge and I will give you the shout out that you're looking for. Put your name and where you're from in the comment section, and I will shout you out. If not, I will go through the replay and we will answer any questions or acknowledge any comments that you have. But first and foremost, it's your motivational speaker, your empowerment coach, your author, your favorite baker's favorite baker, Coach Clee, coming at you. We got a wonderful show today. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to be in the lab. You guys already know what we're going to be talking about. Some of you do. Some of you may not. You know how the format of the show works. So we're going to do a bunch of wonderful things. But right now, I need to know what the energy levels are. I need to know what the energy levels are like. So if you had a good day today, I need you to put a 1 in the comment section. Put a 1 in the comment section if you had a good day today. And some of you already know I don't believe in bad days. I like to call them character building days because you can learn from them, you can grow from them. They're necessary because they make you appreciate the outstanding days that much more better. So if you had a quote unquote bad day or a character building day, I need you to put a 2. Looks like a peace sign. Put a 2 in the comment section if you had a character building day. Put a 2 in the comment section if you had a character building day, and hopefully tomorrow's a better day for you. If you had what I had, I know I say this often, but I really do enjoy going live, and I really do enjoy putting people on the platform. So I always have these kind of days. I have a good day. I have an outstanding day. I have a great day. If you had what I had, I need you to put a 0 in that chunk. If you had an outstanding day. If you had an outstanding day, put a 0 in the comment section. It's kind of like this is a bubble, and you're right there in the middle of that bubble, and nothing can penetrate that bubble. A matter of fact, I'm going to do it right now. Let me see. Let me go ahead and go to Shayla already put in what she had an outstanding day too. She's a copycat, so I had to go. She had to beat me to it. There we go. Coach Clee put a 0 in there. You know what I mean, we're having fun today. Most of you already know, got to go back to this one screen. Oh, there we go. All right. Most of you already know that we're on the Coach Clee page on Facebook. If you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe, that like button that's up there. Subscribe to the page and follow us. We have wonderful content and wonderful information that we come through weekly. We're also on YouTube. If you haven't already done so, it's under the same name, Coach Clee. Hit that subscribe button and get notified when we go live. But again, we come through with some wonderful information. And if you're a podcaster, we also have this same live on podcast with Anchor and Spotify. So download the app and subscribe to the show because we are on all facets: Facebook, YouTube, and Anchor. And we also do we're also on LinkedIn, but LinkedIn won't let me be great, so we're not live on LinkedIn, but the information still does get put on LinkedIn. Okay, and you see it scrolling below. Don't do it right now, but at the end of this live, check out the website, workwithclee.com. workwithclee.com, and on that website you will see we have just celebrated the 2-year anniversary of my first book, March 4th. It's a motivational empowerment book on helping you find your own breakthrough. We talk about toxic people, toxic situations. We talk about taking care of yourself. We talk about courage. It's a roadmap, a guide to get your own breakthrough. And if you need that breakthrough like we all do, this will help you out. That was the first book. The second book, Clarence Stokes, Herb Thompson, Jason Brown, and myself, we all co-wrote this book. No Shade, All Light. It's 25 of our favorite quotes and what they mean to us. So it's over 100 quotes in this book with me. So check out that. That's on the website too. And the third book is #Grudge. This one is a pocket-sized book. I try to do something a little different. You can hang on to this one. We talk about if you ever had anger, if you ever had unforgiveness, if you ever held on to a grudge with somebody and it seems like that's the norm every day, having grudges with somebody, this is another guide that let you go with that. Les Brown said it best. Les Brown said, if you hold on to a grudge, it's like holding on to a hot piece of coal and expecting the person that you're angry with to get burnt, and instead you're feeling the effects of it. Sometimes you just got to let that chumpy go and start the healing process. And we discussed that in the book too. I just did a video thing about that last week. So check that out. That's on the website. And what's been published on March 4th, which is already in the mail, The Lab, the collaboration book of a lot of the former guests that have been on the show. That'll be hitting soon, and I will let you know. That'll be on the website for notifications and purchases on there. So please check that out. Please check that out. We got the new, you guys like the new picture in the background? Try to do something new. It matches the red wall. I'm loving this red wall too. I hope you guys are. Throw a couple ones out there if you guys are feeling it. I'm feeling it. But I'm going to, Shayla, you ready? Because we're about to come to Shayla Showcase in a minute. You guys already know what it is. Here we go.
All right. Hey guys, I know you have missed me. I have been absent for the past, I think, 2 weeks. We had Jamon fill in for me, I think 2 weeks ago. So shout out to Jamon, one of the board of directors. Thank you for filling in. And then last week I did a pre-recorded session of this. So I'm glad to be back in the lab and to do this actually live. So moving on to our sponsors. And actually, before I do that, I just want to give a shout out to Coach Klee and all the hard work that he's put into the lab, the book that is coming out here shortly. It's in the mail, which is so exciting. I know he gets excited when it's a finished product. Lots of hard work and details went into that. So excited for that. So just a little shout out for Coach Klee. And then moving on, so we have our first sponsor. If you are interested in work from home opportunities, check out Image Cesar LLC through their virtual call center. They offer home-based work solutions that empower you to think outside of the cubicle. Contact Kiana Palmer, CEO, and check out their website, imagecesarllc.com. We'll make sure that that contact information is at the top of this live once we're finished. And then moving on, we have DJ Bliss. Contact DJ Bliss Productions for your musical needs, big or small. Let DJ Bliss take your party, corporate event, or reception to the next level. He specializes in all music genres. You can contact DJ Bliss at djbliss717@aol.com or contact him on Facebook at DJ Bliss. And hopefully we will be able to get back to socializing and going to events very soon. But that's all I have for this week's Shayla Showcase. And I encourage you all, when you have the opportunity, to get the vaccine, get vaccinated so we can get back to somewhat of normalcy. And that's my little plug for healthcare.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm loving these banners. These banners are on point. Again, shout out to Jamon Buxton. Shout out to Jay Moore as well. He's updated the website. He stays on top of things. So we got to give him, if you're looking for any website development, look him up. He will be tagged above in the comment section. But I see Tyndale's on. Thank you for tuning in. Please tag, like, and share. You also said you had a good day. Tiki Pharr, she said she's having a great, outstanding day as well. Absolutely. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to jump right into the meat and potatoes of this conversation, of this live, of this presentation. I got right now, she's a mother, she's a grandmother, she's an entrepreneur, she's a business owner. She owns the Pharr Agency. She's going to teach about financial literacy, for one, which is very important, and she's going to talk about credit repair. Ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and bring her to the screen. I want to introduce you. Make sure you give her a warm welcome. Make sure you give her a whole bunch of thumbs up and a whole bunch of hearts. Tiki Pharr-Walker. Tiki, you there? Yeah, unmute you. So there we go.
Hi, everybody.
How you doing? Wonderful. Thank you for coming to the lab. Many people don't know. Long time no see, long time no conversation, because we grew up together. Yep. You were good friends with one of my older sisters, and believe me,
both of them.
I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and get that out there, because they all used to get on my nerves and get me in trouble.
Yep. Well, you were the same.
Now, I was an innocent little boy, and I ain't do nothing.
Okay.
That's beside the point. Nah, seriously, I appreciate you coming in, and I know you're going to educate us, and I'm happy to talk to you again. Realistically, I really am. Get us a little bit caught up. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, hi, everybody. Clee and Shayla, thank you so much for having me. My name is Tiki Pharr-Walker, and I am the CEO of the Pharr Agency. I am a board certified credit repair specialist, and I am here to improve the lives of people who don't know anything about credit, know little about credit, have bad credit, have things that they might need to, just some pointers to bring their credit score up. I know that for me. I didn't learn about credit until I was very late in life. I had ebb and flows. I had good credit. I had bad credit. But what I didn't know was how to play the game. Now I know how to play the game. I want to empower people and teach them how to play it too. So I want to break these generational curses. I want to make sure that we are just, our people especially, are in a place where we can leverage our credit for the good for us and our families and our children and our grandchildren and so on. So thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Again, thank you for coming in. I want to play the game. I want to learn. You know, I want to
win.
Yeah, exactly. So how did you start your own business, and why did you jump into this niche for a profession to help other people?
Well, let me tell you, the pandemic, the COVID-19, the ever popular COVID-19 kicked me in the tail. Okay. It actually just woke me up. I've always been a person that was in corporate. I've always been a corporate. I would say pretty successful in my corporate life. And the pandemic came along, and my particular job, I work for the airline, American Airlines, and you know, they asked people to leave because we don't need all y'all, because y'all don't need to be in the airports and y'all don't need to be teaching people. And I was an instructor in my last position. Okay. So I took a volunteer retirement, and I thought to myself as I was doing it, as I was making the decision, I should say, how am I going to pass this position down to my children or my grandchildren or my family? You know what I'm saying? What kind of legacy am I leaving by having a job? You know what I'm saying? So I thought about it, and I was like, well, you know what? I was getting my credit repaired at the time. Okay. I was repairing my credit and getting it fixed. And I was like, well, this feels good. Like, my numbers are going up and stuff. I'm going to help other people. Okay. You know, because I need that credit right now. Some people can't pay certain things. There's an emergency fund when it comes to credit cards. There's certain loans. Are you scared to apply? Maybe because you don't have the credit. So I said, you know what? I'm going to start out my entrepreneurship with empowering people. Okay. And that's why I came up with the Pharr Agency. Okay. So how long have you officially been in business? About a year at this point, because as I stated, I was fixing my credit, fixing my daughter's credit. And but my business, it came along during the summer of last year. My actual business, where I actually purchased the LLC, you know, I'm legit, let's just say. Okay. Cool. I understand. And it's much needed, because I remember we were talking off camera before the show actually got started. Going back to the days when I graduated high school and I enlisted in the Army, and me not knowing, being credit literate, I made a few racy choices, not knowing, thinking that I would be okay, thinking that I had forever to make payments on certain things. Like I purchased a car that was well overpriced from a second-rate dealership. And then I figured, after I got the loan, not knowing that I could pay whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, until the loan was officially paid off. You know, I didn't know that I had to make a certain amount of the desired amount, or the targeted car payment by date. And if it got a certain amount behind, that they were going to come repossess. I didn't even know what repossession was. Nor did I know about financing. Did I know about any of that? So, I mean, I started behind the 8 ball, and that's how I learned the hard way, because I learned because life was kicking me in the butt, and I wasn't even 21 yet. And you know, that's how a lot of people learn. And then they don't really know the depths of it, because just like you, I've owned cars. I've actually owned a home, and I actually lost my home. You know, I went through some rough times. I've been laid. I was a pharmaceutical rep. It's a volatile industry. I got laid off, couldn't pay my bills, filed bankruptcy. I've even had bankruptcy. I don't have it anymore on my credit, but I've been through so much. But I'm going to tell you this. If I was armed with the knowledge that I have now, we all go through things. Don't get me wrong. We all go through things. I feel like my fall wouldn't have been as horrible, or I would have made educated decisions based off of what I'm thinking my future will be. So yeah, as far as finances, as far as credit is concerned, I'm saying. So yeah, and sometimes we go through things, and we have to learn the hard way. But I want to, my company and what I am empowered to do is teach people how to play this game, because it is a game, and we can play it just like everybody else. There's people out there with 850 credit scores, and they are living the life. They have no worries. But you know what? Let me tell you this. Bad credit does not equal being poor. It does not equal being rich. It does not have a face. Okay. It has a multitude of faces. Let's just say that. Okay. Because people don't believe in having credit cards. They don't have good credit. So what is credit? Credit is credibility. And these main bureaus out here are trying to take us down because they get paid by us having bad credit. And we got to beat them. We got to beat them at their game.
Okay. All right. Real quick, I see Jamon's on. He's tuning in from Texas. Thank you for tuning in. He's saying he had an outstanding day. Well, yeah.
He had a what? What happened?
He wants to learn about some financial literacy and some credit. So I'm sorry that it's cutting out real quick. Can you hear me?
Just a little bit. I got you. I'm on. I hear you.
Oh.
I heard you.
Is it all right? All right. Yeah. You know, sometimes it just be like to act up right during the key moments of the show, but we're gonna keep marching forward. We're gonna keep driving on. That's how we do it. Let's say the 19-year-old version of me came to you, and this is after my repo happened and a bunch of other things happened. And I'm asking, I hire you, your agency, help me out, help me get out of this bind. What would be the process?
Well, I would definitely have a conversation with you to see what your goals are. A lot of times people come to me because they're about to buy a house. They want to buy a house. They want to buy a car. I have clients that just want good credit. I have a client that said, look, I'm tired of paying deposits for an apartment. You know what I'm saying? Something as small as that. So I definitely have a conversation with you to see what your goals are. This is a process. Anyone who's out there telling you that they can do it in a certain amount of days, that's a blanket statement, because everybody, just like everybody has a fingerprint, everybody is different. Their fingerprint is different. Their credit profile is different. I would advise as to what I would do. So I would first analyze your credit, and then I would go to these bureaus, because 9 times out of 10 is something that's incorrect on your credit. So there's this thing called, there's many laws that work in our favor as far as consumers. Okay, because the credit bureaus was taking advantage of us, just putting whoever, whatever on their credit reports. So there's some laws that we could adhere to, or that we can leverage for ourselves in order to remove certain things from our credit, for them to update. Sometimes there's late payments that's showing that shouldn't be, or something like that. I contact the credit bureaus. I have their number on speed dial, and I have their address almost in my memory. I try not to remember it, but yeah. So I reach out to them, and I talk to them on your behalf as to, okay, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? And why are you doing this? This doesn't make sense. This does not apply to me, or this is not mine. A lot of times it is ours, and that's fine. But again, there's 27 parts of a credit report. I look at it all to see what is inaccurate. And a lot of times is something inaccurate.
Okay.
Now, I do like it's called disputing. I dispute on your behalf, and I write letters for you, basically send them off. You get them sent to your house. Okay. And then we go from there. And I also educate you, so you don't end up back in this situation again. I have clients that never had credit cards. I teach them how to use their credit cards. So there's a certain way you use your credit card. Now, when you have a credit card, a lot of times people don't have credit cards. Credit cards, revolving credit is worth 162 points on your credit report. So if, let's say, you're at a 450, what's 162 to? That's $600. That means 600 points. That's 600 plus points that you could have on your as your credit score if you had a credit card and you used it correctly.
Okay.
I teach that. I definitely empower you with the knowledge so that you don't end up back in my client chair again, and that you're able to teach people that you know, teach your children, teach your mother, your father, your brothers that this is a game and we got to look. We're not gonna lose.
Right.
We know better.
Learn and win. You got a comments right here. I see Sean, a former guest on the show. She said she feels that credit literacy should be a requirement for high school.
Agreed, 100%, Shauna. You are so right. We talk about this in my groups, in my credit repair guru groups. We talk about this all the time. And actually, some of them, and even I, have decided that we wanted to try to figure out how we can go into certain communities, maybe in community, like some community type atmospheres, so that we can teach it to our young people. Because a lot of times they get hemmed up when they go to school. They apply for credit and they think they got $500. I'm going to give me some sneakers. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get that. And then they don't pay it back. Well, credibility goes hand in hand with credit. So you're going to get a bad mark on your credit if you don't have the credibility that it takes to keep it up. And if you take out $500 on a card and you charge up your card and don't pay it back, that's not good. That's bad credibility. Now, I'm not saying, I'm not judging at all. Trust me, I'm not judging y'all. I've been there. I'm not going back. I'm not going back. Because what I do have is I have like a certain I have a certain confidence. I walk with a certain confidence because now I can. Okay, so we talked about this. When you go into one of those stores and they say, would you like to apply for a credit card? Like, it's your favorite store. Let's say Old Navy. Let's say somewhere where you go all the time. If you get a credit card, you would definitely spend responsibly, but the first step is getting approved for it. So if they ask you, what do you say? Yes or no? Do you say no because you don't want to be embarrassed? Or do you say no because I really don't need it? I can't afford it or whatever. What is the real reason why you don't apply for that card?
Do tell.
Well, I don't apply for it because I don't want the inquiry.
Okay.
But I used to say no because I didn't want to be embarrassed. And a lot of people want to be embarrassed. So yeah, and that was a point where I didn't even know what my score was. That's how bad I thought my credit was. But like I said, it was ebb and flow. Sometimes I would try it and I'll get approved, and I'll be like, I wonder what my credit is. But now I look at that thing every day.
Okay. And you feeling power. I see Jason Brown, former guest on the show. He also said he likes the fact that you said credit is credibility. He said nicely stated. And he likes also the fact that you definitely, it starts with the goal. And you stated that as well. Like, yeah, that's anything. A goal is basically a roadmap on where you want to go.
Absolutely.
And you're trying to get somewhere and you don't have the roadmap or the goal in mind, you're just going to be all over the place. And
that's
we can't
right.
Organized life going randomly place to place.
That's right. And he said, because I don't want the inquiry and my score to drop. That's right. Your score will drop if you have a lot of inquiries. But let me tell you, inquiries are the least of our worries. There were 55 points, and that's if you have an abundance of them. The credit bureaus, FICO per se, they really allow us to have about 2 per year. They think that we're going to apply for something about 2 times a year. They fall off after 2 years, and they don't really affect your credit after about 6 months to a year.
Okay.
So inquiries still, I mean, it looks bad. So I don't know. Now I have inquiries. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying I don't want to pile up on them. But I've heard of people having hundreds of inquiries because they keep applying and they keep getting denied.
They just going crazy with it.
Yeah. It's only 5 points. It's only 10% of your credit score. So
right. Shauna said even 3 points matter. And she doesn't.
True. That's true.
She doesn't want the inquiries. So her score, the inquiries in her score to drop. She doesn't like the
right. Shauna, so your 3 points can keep you from being in the 700 club. So they say good credit is 720. and up.
Mhm.
And 750 can get you the same thing as 850. So if you don't have an 850, but you have a 750, you still have excellent credit. You can get whatever the 850s can get. So, but yeah, 3 points can be the difference of like what is it, 697 versus 700. And like we like being a part of the 700 club. So yeah.
Yeah. Give some thumbs up, give some hearts for the 700 club, y'all.
Yes, 700 club. Let's get it.
And so I know you kind of touched on some things, who you service, who your company services, and who it's geared toward. And you said it's all faces, all nationalities. I mean, credit has no face. Productively, it has no face. And you talked about how it impacts us. Sorry, I told you I fumble over my words.
Yeah.
It happens.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay.
Thank you.
This is my first time on anything platform, y'all. So yeah,
out because she has a business and she hasn't gone live, and the first time she's going live is in the lad. You know what I mean? Give her. You got.
Yes, of course. Little bad Clee, I'll go ahead and get over him.
I know, and it all started from a popcorn donation.
Oh yeah. Y'all get that popcorn. I heard it's really good.
It is. Some of mine just came in. No, that was for a fundraiser that was going on. No, that's over with. However, if it comes around again, I'll post it.
Yeah, I'll get some more. Okay. Now what were you about to say? Sorry.
But credit impacts us. A lot of people know how it impacts us, and I know you kind of touched on it. But could you elaborate and share with us even further how important credit is and how it impacts us through life?
Absolutely. Okay, so credit has. Okay, so they check your credit when you try to get a job.
Mm-hmm.
They check your credit when you're trying to get utilities.
Okay.
Insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they check your credit for cars, homes.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell y'all, there's this we call it third parties. There's this third party company called LexisNexis.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, if y'all go to LexisNexis.com, look it up, Google it, okay? Look it up. They got your whole life on that report. Like, clean. You know when we used to live around the corner from each other? That address is on my report. On my LexisNexis report. Okay, so basically what it is just anybody who wants to extend any type of service to you, any type of service to you, they're going to look at your credit. Now you may not know because there's two types of inquiries. There's a soft pull and then there's a hard pull.
Okay.
So the hard pull is when we go into those stores and they want to see if they want to extend us a store card. And then the soft pulls are in the back. They're in the background checking you out. If you owe a collection, if you have a collections company, or if you owe a company like, let's say, T-Mobile, Verizon, your hospitals, anything, they do soft. They check you out to see where you live in. They check you out to see. They look on your report as well. Okay. So a lot of times, if you look at your soft inquiries and it's a collection agency, you might be getting a letter soon. So just letting y'all know. But yeah, those are the things that affect us. Let me see. I wrote down some notes too. So security deposits, we talked about that. As far as apartments are concerned, interest rates, and you know about interest rates. We talked about the interest only loans with the cars, where if you get a car and your agreement is an interest only loan, for the first couple of years you're just paying interest. You haven't even started paying for the car yet, which can cause you to either pay double for the car. So you have a $20,000 car with the interest rate or the interest only loans that you have. You can pay $40,000 for a $20,000 car. But if your credit is good or decent, then you only pay what? It was $20,000. You could only pay like $26,000 or $24,000 for that car. So definitely. Let's see. China said, I'm not in the 700 club, but it's a goal for me. Yes. I feel like I've been stagnant. Sometimes, yes, it's stagnant. I don't want to get another card or open another card line. Any suggestions?
There you go.
How many cards do you have? Shauna, do you have just one card or two cards? Because if you have more than two, then no, you don't need any more cards.
It takes a while for the comments to come back through as
Oh,
well.
okay.
That's
Also,
not.
the utilization. So utilization, and this is what I suggest to a whole lot of people. And it sounds like she pretty much knows some stuff, but I would just say this just for the masses, not necessarily for you, Shauna. But if your utilization is below 10%, the sweet spot is 1% for your credit cards, and that's cumulative. That's overall. Then you can optimize your 162 points as well, because that's 30% of the credit score makeup. This is 162 points.
Okay.
So that's what I suggest a lot of times to people, especially if they don't have credit cards and they're trying to get their score up. I tell them to get a credit card, and you can only use 1% of it. Now, that doesn't mean just use 1%, then all month, No, that means that when the statement date comes, it's reporting 1%.
Okay. She just answered. She has one major and one secured card, and she's under 12%.
Okay, get it at 1%, and your score is going to go up. Not zero. Get it at 1%, because optimally it's 10% or less. A lot of companies say 30%, but that's not the optimum points. Your optimum points, that sweet spot, is 1%.
Okay, I didn't know that. I always heard the 30%. And when I did learn about credit cards and how to use them, I was always told don't purchase anything that you can't pay off within a month. How factual and actual is that? I
agree. Well, I agree. Only because, for two reasons. Because if it's at 1%, you're fine, right? If you're paying on it. But the second and the main thing for me as far as carrying a balance is the interest. You're paying interest on it. You know what I mean? And you don't have to pay interest on it if you pay it off after, before the bill is due.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So if you buy something, yes, you should use your credit card, but only if you can pay it off in a month. If not, then, it's not the end of the world. A lot of times our credit cards are for emergencies. For instance, what I was going to tell you is that my day was going to be almost, I thought, going to be a 2. Oh. But it ended up being a 0.
Okay.
Because, I went out to my car today and I had a flat tire.
Oh, for real? Okay.
Yep. But now back in the day, I would have been like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? Oh no, what am I gonna do? I was calm, cool, and collected. I was like, it ain't like I can't get another tire because I got credit. You understand what I'm saying? For emergencies, I got credit. But then I realized I had this little thing in my trunk that actually can blow up my tire for me and all that other stuff. So I pulled that out. But still, I was just like, no worries. You know what I mean? And just having good credit is just less stress.
Yeah, it gives you a certain air of confidence.
Yep.
Yep. I see Dave's on. I see Megan's on. Thank you, ladies, for tuning in. Please tag, like, and share. Yep.
Yes.
I know how you're sharing.
I know how that works out, okay?
I'm sorry?
I was telling Shauna, she said, okay. I said, good. Let us know how that works out.
Yep.
Sure it's gonna be she gonna hit it. Get that 1%. You'll be fine. Hit it for 3 months. You're gonna get the 700. Watch.
Okay. All right. I believe it too. I got faith in her as well. She's a former guest on the show. I keep my rock there. She does rock painting. And she was on the show. She did the rock. Go ahead. I see you looking. See all of the. Let me go ahead and put that on the screen. I got to give her a shout out real quick. So I still got it. I told you it's the bust him in the mouth rock for one of the.
She paints rocks. I want to see that. Oh, that's nice. I want one with this logo. Can you do it? That is really nice.
Absolutely. That's my security guard.
Shoot, yeah. I could work outside for real with that. So put that on my papers on the floor. That's nice.
So what can your company guarantee to us? If someone was to go ahead and contact you for some help, what can you guarantee to them?
If they contact me for help, what can I guarantee? I can't guarantee anything. So there's a law there's laws that govern credit repair specialists, and one of them is that we don't guarantee anything.
Okay.
What I don't guarantee is that I will work hard for you to get your credit to the best, level in which I can. And I will guarantee that I will teach you how to use it. And that I'm passionate about it because
it's coming through.
This is my thing. I love it. Like it's just I really wish, and I know you don't ask me this question, but I really wish I had known this in my 20s like you. I'm in my 40s. And I've had good credit. I have bad credit. I've had bad credit. But I had good credit and didn't know why. You know what I'm saying? But I was paying my bills. But I mean, yeah, that's a no-brainer to pay your bills. But what about the other stuff? Because that ain't all. That's not all. That's not the only thing that's credit. You know what I'm saying? Paying your bills on time is 182.5 points. Having a credit card and having 1% is 162 points.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Right? So you get 300 points. It's 550 points in between that and getting to 850. And that is all of these things. That's your credit. That's your paying your bills on time. That is your utilization. That is your credit mix. So you have to have a mixture of credit. So you can't just have credit cards. You got to have installments. Installments are like loans, things that you get to a point. There's an end point. So you're just paying an installment to get to that end point. There's also credit age. And credit age, that's the one that keeps people from the 850 because sometimes they're young and they don't have credit age. So the length of time that you have credit is a factor, and inquiries. Those are the 5 factors that make up the FICO score.
And I'm glad you talked about that too, because historical credit, I didn't know about that again in my 20s until because I would get, what's it, Marion Bank or whatever, those $300 credit cards, and I'd go apply for them, and you activate the card and you think you got $300, but you don't, you only have 150. And at the time I'm going to go buy the latest pair of J's or something, and I go swipe it and it wasn't going through. So I maxed that out in like a day. Then I had to pay the balance, and then not making the payments, they end up paying that of that $150. I end up paying maybe $300 to $500 on all those fees that built up. Then I get mad with the company and I just cancel the card and pay the bill off, and that counted against me because I didn't let the historical keeping the card open or that account open. I would just get mad like, y'all got me. I don't know nothing. I don't want to deal with y'all. Cancel my card.
Yep. That's a factor, yes, as well. So a lot of times too is people might come to me and let's say they tell me that story that you just told me, and you've had that credit, you had that card for 7 years, and all of a sudden you got hemmed up and you canceled that card. That's 7 years. So they average your accounts. You know what I'm saying? They take the average, they take the highest, the lowest, and the number of accounts you have, and that's your credit age. Optimum credit age is 12 years.
Okay.
I'm just saying. They say good age is 7, but optimum is 12 plus.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. You got to have it for a while.
Steve's on here.
They want their student loans gone. But, we start out pretty early in life with student loans, right? And later on, you want them gone. But that's a big factor when it comes to your age. So I don't want my student loans gone. They can keep reporting.
Man, I doubled up on some payments to get mine out the way because they was getting on my nerves, man.
Yeah, they get on my nerves. But they still stay on your credit though, even if you paid it off. That's still good.
Okay.
They still gonna be on your credit, so that's good.
Steve's on. Thank you for tuning in. He has a question right here. He wants to know: do you educate people on what debit and credit ratio means? Debt and credit ratio means.
Does he mean, okay, so there's some certain numbers that go into play. Now, listen, I have a master's degree. I have an MBA, and I can't count worth crap. but we can use a calculator together. So no, I don't basically do it as far as the debt to ratio, if that's what he's talking about. But if he's talking about what a credit card, like a credit card numbers and what he needs to have in order to report every month, I can tell him that. I can educate him on that. I definitely help people with their credit cards like that. That's not the issue. It's all these other numbers that go in to pay for your debt to ratio, and that has to do with real estate. And I did go to real estate class, and I'm not a real estate agent.
You went to everybody's class.
Look, my ex-boyfriend was like, God, you've done everything. I really have.
I see.
But my granddad was Jamaican, so.
Okay. Oh, okay. See, you just made all that make sense. You made it all make sense. You just made it make sense. I got you. And keep the questions coming in because she's explaining it all. Keep them coming in. So if anyone wanted to contact you and utilize your services, how do they contact you? What's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
Well, I do have Instagram. I have a website. Let's start with the website. My website is www.thepharr agency.com. And all of my platforms, as far as my business is concerned, is the Pharr Agency at Instagram, Facebook. I even have Twitter. TikTok is not. I have it, but don't go there, please. I'm horrible at social media. Somebody help me.
I see you got
bartering. You help me with my social media. I help you with your credit.
I guarantee you, somebody will reach out and help you with that because you got your Facebook, you got your IG going on, and you got a website.
Yep, got a website, www.thepharragency.com.
So let me ask you this: what gives you? And I know you said this was spawned by the pandemic and being laid off of work, but what gives you the motivation to keep going?
Laid off, I retired, but go ahead.
I'm sorry, that's right. You did say that. My bad. I didn't mean to.
But I've been laid off before, so it's not a big deal. Laid off, retired, whatever. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What gave you them, and what gives you the motivation to keep doing this, to keep moving forward, to keep empowering people, to keep helping them out?
Oh my goodness, because it's such a good. It's our people. Like, I care. It's our people. I care about people, period. I'm a people person. I care about people. But it's just, I didn't have the knowledge, and now I do. I have to share. Like, I how can I not? You know what I'm saying? And I don't necessarily even have to. I don't always charge people. I mean, I just want to teach you. I just want to tell you. I just want to show you. I just want to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm really passionate about just having that basic knowledge, especially since these companies trying to get over. They're trying to get over. We have to win. And plus, I don't want them to have I don't want them to have the power.
Yeah.
So we gotta fight back.
Absolutely. So how important is it? Is financial literacy and credit repair, do they go hand in hand?
They absolutely do.
Okay.
They absolutely do. Financial literacy, so with financial literacy, that's basically you budgeting, you having a savings, you being able to invest, being able to just have your whole financial portfolio is intact. And then nobody's perfect, but we have these 401s we don't really know a whole lot about. We have Bitcoin. Now, I'm not an expert on Bitcoin at all.
Bitcoin miner,
trading.
No,
I'm really ready to learn about that. I really am. But I've been concentrating on my business. So, I mean, not to say that that's not important enough. I just haven't had a chance to get into the whole big old to do about that. The basics, yes, I read about the basics. I know Bitcoin is supposedly some great thing. It's a great thing. And my understanding is, I don't know. Don't know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna leave that alone. But it's a whole definitely financial literacy is definitely goes hand in hand with credit. It definitely does, because credit, and that's what I teach. I teach financial literacy by way of credit.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I see that, and I appreciate that. And I kind of know this next question I'm going to ask you, you kind of touched on it a little bit, and I know I kind of know what the answer is, but I'm still going to ask it anyway. If you back in a couple years or so and talk to a younger version of yourself, what kind of advice would you give yourself? Your self-actualized person of today goes back and talks to the younger version of Tiki. What would you tell yourself?
I would tell myself to sit back, learn something about this credit thing. Because when I was younger, first of all, I paid no attention to even my student loans. Well, what's the interest rate? Well, when would I have to pay this back? And how much do I have to pay? Like, I took no real interest in knowing my finances. And like finances kind of runs things, kind of, sort of. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have a place to live. I wouldn't have a car. You know, we go to school so we can get a job, so we can pay for things. Well, knowing the foundation of that is just
hold on. I think we're having. Hold on. We had technical difficulties, so I think the last 30 seconds, everything you said. No, it went through. Oh, okay. That's my fault. Then I shouldn't have interrupted you. I thought it was frozen. No, my bad. Go ahead.
But no, just having the foundation of just knowing, having the knowledge, because I think knowledge is key, and not thinking that credit is horrible. Credit cards are horrible. They're not. You need them. You just got to know how to use them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was one of those ones like, I ain't getting no credit card. You know what I'm saying? No, because I don't want to be in no bad situation, but you have to have it in order to have like good credit. You can have fair or decent credit without it, but you can't. But if you want good credit, you need a credit card, at least one or two.
Okay, all right. I know
and
people that solely use their credit card. Yep. That's important. I know people who have them just for emergencies, use them for lunch. They spend their $10-$15. That way they use it. They get the use of using it, and then they pay it off or pay it down. Instead of using it. And they have cash or it can go electronically, but they just don't.
Yep. And you're right, Clee. You're right. They should. They have to use it, because if they don't use it, they lose it. The credit card companies want you to use their cards. So they go, they're in bed with the credit bureaus, right? So they report to them, they pay them so that they can report certain things. But if there was nothing to report, the credit bureaus wouldn't exist, right? So if your credit card companies need you in order to create interest in their banks, such and such and such and so forth, and all that. But so yeah, it's us against them. And I'm not saying they're horrible. I'm just saying that if you are armed, if you're armed with knowledge, then you can compete. Like it's not anything that you can't. You're gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna win. And sometimes when we don't even have knowledge and we know we don't really know, we lose. Like, you don't even have to have a whole huge, credit line. You can have a $300 credit line, a $500 credit line. As long as you're using it correctly, you are in the game and you are able to compete with them, because they're not, to me, they're not for you. Like, they're not in your corner.
Right. They're exactly, and they're using you to finance their company and corporation and to pay their bills, their employees, and to make money themselves. So of course, if we're going to be the cattle or the sheep, we're the product. So they're not going to. The more we mess up, the more they bank.
Yep. And 77% of people have bad credit.
No, I didn't know the number was that high.
It's not. We need to change that. We need to flip that. Right? 77% of people should have good, decent, fair credit.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. Good point. And I know, with your company, what are your goals? What is your dreams and vision with having this company and working it for and with the people?
Well, that's a great question. I feel like I want to reach as many people as I possibly can, but I am also interested in other ventures. My actual company is called Miss Tiki Ventures LLC. I do business as a Pharr
Okay.
agent. I have a waist bead business. I also am a loan signing agent. And I'm looking to get into trucking. I want to do some trucking and just some investment properties and stuff like that. So with good credit, I can do all those things. Just saying. But one thing at a time. They say what they say, a master. If you're a jack of all trades, a master of none. So I want to empower as many people as I possibly can, and then move on to my next venture. I think that'll be trucking, because that's something I'm going to pass down to my family, my daughters and my granddaughter.
What exactly do you want to do in trucking?
I want to get a couple of trucks. I want to have a fleet. Only because trucking, it's recession free. Everybody needs products at any time in a recession, right?
Amazon.
Just imagine having a truck for Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, being the ones that's transporting all them vaccines all over the US.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would like to have a fleet, and there's a lot for me to learn. So I'm not going to go as this is where I'm going to stop with that. But I know a few people that have some trucks, and I was like, something I never thought of. Okay. My stepfather was a trucker, which brought me to Harrisburg. That's how I ended up in Harrisburg from Charlotte. Okay. Because my mom ended up marrying a trucker. He worked in Caroline. He worked for Caroline in Carlisle. Okay. And I remember he used to go. He had the beeper, he had the pager, because they would have to page him to come, work and all kinds of stuff. He's always on call. And he took care of the family. So there's money in it.
There is. A guy who I was in the Army with, a good friend of mine. We've been friends since he was with me when I bought my first car. Both of us not knowing, but since then he's got his own truck and he's got his own business. So yeah, he's loving it. Yeah.
Where is he? Where's he located?
He's down in Atlanta right now.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say maybe you should put us in touch with each other so he can teach me.
Big network, so that we can make that thing happen.
Okay. Because I've got some leads on some stuff, but the one thing that they told me was, because I want a new car, but I haven't bought it. I haven't bought one, but they was like, instead of you buying that new car, buy you a truck. And I was like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. So my next step is buying a truck.
I got you.
But I don't know what I'm buying, so that's why I'm like, I gotta get somebody to help me. But there's so many other aspects. Like I said, I'm stop.
That's cool. Cool.
Yeah, that's the future of the Miss Tiki Ventures LLC. You'll see my name in lights soon.
I know. I believe it. I know. So let me ask you this. And I know we're kind of closing up the interview, but I'm enjoying this and I'm enjoying getting caught up with you. But yeah, absolutely. But is there any book or any person or any certain story that has inspired you or has been a game changer in your life? Like you may have been going, not even in a bad way, but you were going one direction, and then that moment, that aha moment hit, and you immediately went that way. Is anything that you would like to share with us?
And I tell you, have you ever heard of Joseph Murray?
I have not.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so Joseph Murray has he talks about basically thinking, attracting money. So there's Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon. Okay, Napoleon Hill. But there's also How to Attract Money by Joseph Murray.
Okay.
And after I heard somebody sent him to me because I was venting. Being a business owner is not easy. It's actually quite challenging, especially for a person who's been in corporate America since I've been working. And I kind of had some venting moments. I had some moments where I was like, man, I don't know if I want to do this. Like, this is just not, it's not easy.
Right.
Well, he sent over to me a clip of Joseph Murray. And after I listened to it, it was an hour long. She's like, it's long, but you know, after I listened to it, I've been obsessed with that man. He's gone. He left us in 1981.
Okay.
But he has written some really good books about how to attract money. And it's basically a manifestation. You pray to God. And you let God know that you are you're walking in his will, and that you deserve money, basically.
Okay.
So Joseph Murray, How to Attract Money, and his other book is called it's called something else, but it's How to Attract Money is like an offset of that book.
Okay.
Like, How to Attract Money.
I got you. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. I know you've been letting other people. And I know one question I forgot to ask, and I'm gonna ask it now. What if there's someone who's watching the show right now, a little boy or little girl, they're 12 or 15 years old or whatever. They never heard of you. They hear your story. They heard your struggle. They see you on screen looking good, smiling, talking wonderfully, wanting to help out and empower people and doing your thing. And they're like, wow, you know, I want to grow up. I want to be just like her. I want to do what she's done. What kind of advice would you give them?
I would say the first thing for me is to always be a learner, a person who accepts being taught something. And I'm highly motivated by just being educated on something, which is why I had a hard time trying to figure out my book, but I just know what I'm into right now. But just being an internal, person who likes to learn and who can absorb it. If you don't have it at first, keep going and never give up. That's another thing. Never give up. Keep living life. YOLO. You only live once. You got to live your life. So that's a big thing too. But for sure, being a person who's always learning and never giving up.
Yeah, let me go ahead and put that. Yeah, hold on, let me see.
What you putting that on?
In the comments.
In the comments. Oh yeah.
There you go. Gotta get that out there. Yep, absolutely.
Yes. An eternal student.
Okay, hold on. Let me see.
Eternal student, always learning. Because that's just a wise thing to do to me. You don't know something, is to get educated.
Absolutely.
Ask questions.
So this is what I'm gonna do. I appreciate you coming on the show. I know this is you. Then live, you did a great job. Yeah. We gotta give her a shout.
If I come on again, I'm gonna have a little something back here.
You'll be on again, I guarantee you. We're gonna have a lot of fun. But right now, there may have been, through the course of conversation, some things that I may have forgot to ask, or some things that may have jogged your memory. Is there anything right now? I'm gonna give the floor to you. Is there anything that you may have forgotten, or is there anything that you would like to share with us? Right now, the floor is yours. Get ready for this big well.
I really don't have a whole lot. I'm humble. I'm here to help. If you need anything, as far as your credit is concerned, your credit needs, I can help you. I can give you some advice. It's not always, you don't always have to pay, but I can advise you on, getting your credit score up and all that type of stuff. So just hit me up. You can go to my website, thepharragency.com, or you can hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, the Pharr Agency, and I'm here for you. I forgot I have a phone number too, but just hit me up. DM me. I got you.
Yep. Electronically, that's fine. Shayla said you shared great information, and thank you.
Oh, thank you, Shayla. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Hang on. We ain't done yet.
there's some more follow-up things that have to happen. But right now, I'm gonna hit everybody with this. And ladies and gentlemen, hang on, don't log off yet. We're having fun right now. Thank you guys for tuning in. I do these shows. Most of you already know I do these shows because I put on. And I say that to say this. If you've got a business, a product, or a positive message that you're looking for a platform to get that information out on, inbox me, text me, get a hold of me, hit up the website. The website's scrolling below, like I said at the beginning of this live. Let me know. I will schedule you a time to get you in the lab. We'll tell everyone to get their pen and their pad, and we're going to learn something, and we're going to have fun when we do it. Like I said, if you have a business, product, or positive message, let me know. We will get that information out there. We're gonna ball so hard, and we're gonna live our life with a purpose. I stuttering over my words real quick because I'm getting looked at kind of funny. However, the collaboration book is getting ready to come out. Yeah, I got to get that information out there. I want everyone to live their life with the purpose, evolve so hard. That's what I was trying to say, but I was getting looked at. I was getting the side eye, real crazy, but I'm not going to put that information out there. Bringing Tiki back on. Tiki, again, thank you for coming on the show, for blessing my show. I truly appreciate it. With that, I do have a gift for you. I do believe that if you donate time for my show, that I owe you appreciation for that time. So I will make sure that I get that gift to you in a timely manner. Okay.
Oh, thank you. I wasn't expecting that. You don't have to do that.
That's why it's a gift, because if you were,
it was so fun. Like,
yeah.
Thank you.
You're natural on the show. So
for having me. I had a good time.
Absolutely, I had a great time too, and I had a good time getting caught up as well. I got a guest coming in the lab again next week. Do you know who that guest is?
Oh.
You got to tune in and see.
Oh, I will check you out. I got to do this.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, we got to do one more thing before we say goodbye. You remember?
Emery just said he loved me and he loved what I do, and I love you too. Thank you.
Hey, I'm missing comments. Hold on. Who's that? Yeah, okay. Coach Cook's on here. Yep. Coach Cook, former guest on the show, lively guest on the show. He loves you. You do. Yep. There you go. Look at that. We got to do one more thing before we close out.
Man, okay.
Huh?
I said I love seeing Mr. Cook on Facebook. He is the man.
Getting it. He's out there getting it. Absolutely. Haven't already got his books. You got to get that.
And all good. Yes. I need to get his book. I need to. I got to get it.
You got to get both. You got to get them both. He's coming out with a whole series.
What?
See, you didn't even know. See,
I didn't know that. How did I miss that?
No, you got to check his website out. Check out his social handles.
I'm gonna do that. I got it written down on my list.
Okay. What's the last thing we got to do? You remember the last thing we got to do to close out the show?
Yeah.
The money dance. Thank you guys, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. It's your motivational speaker, your empowerment coach, your author, and your favorite baker's favorite baker, Coach Clee, coming at you. Tune in next week. We got a special guest again. We're gonna hit you with more of the money dance. We're gonna hit you with some more information. I love to help you. I want you all to have a great night. Be safe out there for those of you who are celebrating this holiday. For a holiday for some, not a holiday for all, but be safe. We love you. Tune in next week. It's Coach Clee coming at you. Peace.